Alright. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Florencio files. We've got a special treat for you. That's right. Out of his archives, Florencio keeps on finding these old games, which apparently I never cast. And he says, Pig, I got some oldie but goodie Protoss games that you never actually cast. And I don't know if they got lost in recent replay packs or he never sent them to me, but I'm excited to see how they go. Down here in the bottom right on his D-Tokes, D-T-O-Kez, it is Florencio. This is Odyssey, a map I haven't seen in a long time. Up in the top left, in the red, it's Jebediah. Jebediah Springfield. Isn't that the guy who made Springfield in The Simpsons? Probe coming over. This is a beautiful map, by the way. You've got little water pools everywhere. You've got beaches. There's colorful shells on some of these beaches over there on the edges. Coming up here, it's all a bit more kind of, tiled and concrete and whatnot, and there's floating Protoss structures and crystals. Florencio's coming on in. He wants to block that expansion. Jebediah realizing this. And Jebediah's gone pull first. He drops a gas reactively. He says, oh, okay, you're going to block my base. No worries. Flo's got that forge going up on the natural, and he's sent in a second probe across that's being a little sneaky. Jebediah's going to go out and take the third base. But Flo, he puts the pylon down pretending to block, but I think he's going to let that finish and actually build a cannon next to it. No, he decides not to. He's actually going to hide down here. So he actually just goes for a gateway and a cannon at home. He says, look, you've seen what I'm doing. You're probably going to have Zerglings pretty soon anyway. Let's not commit to it. Drone does come down and starts having a little bitey bite of the probe. The probe says, nah, dickhead. The drone says, nah, fuck you, nah, fuck you, nah, fuck you. The probe says, shit. Actually, he does get his face ripped off, but he does put down the, nah, fuck you, pylon. Of course, little does he realize those Zerglings could kill that very easily, but they're going straight across the map. Little do those Zerglings know they're going to run into a full wall off at a cannon. And this pylon's actually a real nuisance. Now, Jebediah really should turn those Zerglings around, or he's never going to get through that. But he does have an expansion up. Florencio going to go for a Nexus as well. Wow. On the natural. The non-Florencio natural. The normie natural. Jesus. This is like seeing your favorite rock star wearing a suit and tie. This is kind of weird. Oh, Zerglings come in. Two of them do go down to that cannon. And they're pushed back for now. No Cybercore just yet for Flo, though. I must be psychic, says Jebediah. Why? With the pull first? Is that why? I knew you were cannon rushing. Oh, Jebediah. Maybe played Flo before and knew about him. I mean, this is from the early days of the Florencio files, I believe. You did well, says Flo. Flo's still got a probe hidden in the corner. Remember, there is a gold base there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 gold mineral patches. Cheese sense. Only one gas geyser, but 8 gold mineral patches. Most gold bases only have 6. Very, very nice. My cheese is dirty. Florencio showing a rare might of self-awareness. His Cybercore, I was complaining he hadn't started that like a minute ago. He literally spends some time chatting to his opponent before starting it. He goes 3rd and 4th gas before Cybercore. He hasn't even unlocked his tech, and he's already doing that. Oh my god. Oh, okay, so he's not really been building probes nonstop either. He's only at 22. Thankfully for him, his Zerg opponent is also very busy chatting. And even though there's a 3rd hatch up, the Zerg has not droned that much. There's a bit of lings on the way. +1 melee starts, and ooh, old school, the Zergling minivan. This is back in the day when Zergs could make this. All they needed was an Evo chamber, and they could immediately, no layer or anything, turn a Zergling into a Dropper Lord. This is a really good move, but... What? But because Flo is such a ridiculous human, he's got a cannon sitting in his main base anyway. This is such a dumb cannon to have. Unless you have a good reason to think of yourself getting counterattacked. You could just have an adept out or, spot the edges of your base or something. But he's like, nah, just build a cannon in my main base just in case. And these Zerglings, I mean, the thing is, Jebediah, oh, I'm dirty. Jebediah is droning pretty well behind this as well. Comes in with the Zerglings. It's going to be disappointed to see that cannon. Gets us around, though. Uh-oh, the probes are going to turn and fight. Can they kill these Zerglings? The cannon goes down. The Zergling's going to do at least a fair bit of damage. Nice mineral micro there with the probes, though. Does change the targets of the Zerglings by doing that. And in the end, he only loses... 7 workers. I think he lost 1 or 2 on the other side of the map. So I think 6 workers went down. Could have been a lot worse for Flo. Good probe micro, good handling. Rebuilds that cannon. Meanwhile, 3 Stargates in the corner of the map. That's cute. Jebediah's like, I'm dirty, thinks he's gonna kill like everything with those Zerglings. Jebediah is like, nah, man, it's all good. It's all good. I've got a Spore Crawler in me natural, Spore Crawler in my third, a Baneling Nest. Let's make it a good drone count. Oh, by the way, I totally forgot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, that isn't 8 mineral patch base. They're just arranged very strangely, aren't they? Mining, I think, a little bit different on this map to some others. Zergling's gonna go out to the Watchtowers. We haven't seen Watchtowers in a while. Cool to see Watchtowers recently just made their return to StarCraft, out on the edges of 2,000 atmospheres. And it's gonna be Oracles in the corner of the map. Oh, this poor Zerg player. The illusion of map control, right? Overlord out the front, Zerglings on the Watchtowers, Zerglings running through the middle to spot the front. And these Oracles, they're not going to get spotted. Like, maybe this Overlord, but they could even go around the very edge and just appear out of nowhere and laser this Spore Crawler down. So the Zerg's just making Ling Bane right now, droning on up, getting in what he thinks is an economy advantage. Checks that third, sees nothing there. And I mean, seeing a wall off with 2 cannons behind it, Jebediah is like, oh, okay, you're just turtling up. No worries. Oh my god, not building anything that shoots up. Jebediah slowly adding gases here. Building some more Overlords. +1 range on the way. An odd choice. So maybe planning to go into Hydras off this. Looks like this is going to be straight to Hydra Bane, I think. But only 3 hatcheries still. 45 drones versus 39 probes. And what the hell? A shield battery and a cannon. Oh. Is this a more recent game? There's shield batteries in this patch? Huh? Wait, so that means this is after the removal of the mothership core. Hey. Oh, but it's before overcharge, right? So this game's probably... I can't. My timeline's all off. Yeah, so Chrono's the same. Recall is the same. Oh, no, this is the old big recall. Okay, so this is the old giant recall. You can see how huge that recall radius is. Shield batteries are in it, but there's no battery overcharge. So this must have been right after the shield battery came into the game. They were still playing on this map pool. A cannon goes down at the proxy. Florencio hits a supply block here. It does queue up a few more pylons, and these Oracles are about to show their hand. Let's go to the Zerg's camera. Jebediah's so happy with his spot in this game. Sees the Oracles and is like, no! Oh! Starts trying to build Spore Crawlers here, but underneath, more spores at the other base is going down as well. The Banelings are going to try and morph on the other side of the map, but the Oracles have already taken out the Spore. And look at how quickly those Queens go down. Oh my god, and he's hold positioning over the mineral line. These Queens are going to go down really quickly as well. The Oracles are just blasting him, dude. So many units going down there. 5 Queens, 16 drones, 2 spores. These spores are all going to die. He will pull back for now, but here come the Banelings. And one of those cannons gets depowered. These Banelings are going to find the worker line. They're going to find big damage. Are they? Oh, they blow up on just 1 or 2 probes so far. The probes are mineral walking out of there. Jebediah unable to seal the deal on those probes. And remember, there's another cannon up in the main base as well. Okay, he's going to go for it. Ling Bane heading up into the main base. There's already a Nexus starting. Reactively starts a Nexus in the corner. Bane speed is kicked in. That mineral line's in trouble. Once again, Florencio pulls his probes away. He's already saved quite a few of them. The Lings are out there. They are hunting right now for those probes. He's like, where did they go? Where did they go? And this is unfortunately going to lure him down to the corner, but there is 1 cannon already there. He's found him. He's found him. And there's a lot of Zerglings coming down. He recalls them back home. Jebediah says, lol. But Flo actually saves him. Rewalls his base once again with 2 very easily bustable pylons, but he's got lots of Oracles building. Jebediah doesn't find the corner because of the recall. Oh my god. +2 melee, +2 range are on the way now. So the Zerg's getting some decent upgrades, but you gotta redrone, buddy. That's the most important thing, is redroning here. And that main base only has 3 spores in it, so that's still a somewhat vulnerable area. The Zerg is going to try and commit to this, but that's a very expensive trade. He's going to lose a lot of units cracking on through. He will get it, though. Another gateway builds off. But, okay, you gotta keep attacking the pylon. Oh my god, Jebediah is just going crazy. There's so many Oracles out, and he's not droning. He's trying to build Hydras right now. I think massing spores and drones is the only way to get back in this game. I don't think Hydras are going to do good versus Oracles. We've all seen Hydras versus Oracles. You need a lot of Hydras before that works out. Now, Flo's going to run away because he wants to get back to those Oracles. So far, 28 probes have been killed by these Zerglings and Banelings. But you know what? Flo's still got a decent economy up. He did turn a lot of his Oracle's laser beams on, though. These Zerglings wasting a lot of their energy. Buys himself a lot of time behind this. There is actually a pretty damn good Hydra count coming out. So 9 Hydras out. No upgrades. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. How is it so consistent that Zergs would remember things like +2 melee and not make Hydra upgrades? I honestly don't know if every one of the first 150 episodes of the Florencio Files is a setup or what. Because how does every single one forget Hydra upgrades and make unupgraded Hydras? Get behind the spores. He's going out there to fight the oracles. I think the Zerg Jebediah thinks he's got the better army. He thinks, I can fight that. No, you can't. Run, dude. Run! The spores and the queen go down. One oracle falls, but already the spores go down and the hydras get jumped on. They manage to kill 1, 2. They're started stepping into the lasers. That's the opposite of the micro that you should do, you moron. Oh my god, Jebediah. Oh. You're meant to start a step away from oracles. You have the longer ranged unit. You're meant to back away and spread them out into a concave so they could all shoot at once. Instead, he started step them up a choke point to a ramp. I see those are still super broken. Yeah, if you make the unit that's worst in the game against them, you don't get the 2 most important upgrades until after the fight, and you do the worst possible micro in the worst piece of terrain on the entire map. Blizzard can't get their shit together? Dude! What are you talking about? You're letting him get away with murder right now. You're too busy complaining rather than doing anything else. Rebuilds the hatchery here. Is trying to remake the hydras, but no infestors, no corruptors, nothing like that. Florencio says, I told you I'm dirty. I warned you, naughty boy. Florencio gets so fucking creepy when he's winning the game. I love it. Jebediah is like, where do these oracles keep coming from? Still hasn't found it. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Jebediah still doesn't know about this base. Oh my god. Oracle's coming in for round 17 of Laser Party. And that is 15 oracles. And oh my god, they find the drones. He doesn't even turn on the lasers. Florencio is just toying with his opponent right now, I guess. Oh, you know, he lures the hydras into the main and then goes to the low ground, but he's still in range. He's still in range. Florencio loses quite a few oracles here with horrendous oracle control. He could have killed like 20 drones and then just flown away, but decides to play with his opponent instead. Now, the Zergling still didn't scout this, but loading up another 8 Zergling drop. The problem is there is 2 cannons and a battery there, 2 cannons in the natural. If he runs down here, he's out of range of those cannons, but otherwise he's not going to achieve anything. The Zerg player is still not rebuilding his economy at all. He's got 18 Hydras out. If he gets enough Hydras together, it'd be good, but he doesn't have grooved spines. The Zerg's still not making grooved spines. Florencio goes for the hatchery. Jebediah, oh, he started steps forward a little bit too late. In this scenario, it was right to start a step forward to try and save the hatchery, but he only gets 1 or 2 oracles, loses his third base again. And he's making Overlord speed and Banelings against Mass Oracle. I mean, the Banelings are not bad for blowing up the workers, but he should go for the natural. This base is mostly mine now. The Zerg is still not making grooved spines, like an absolute nong. An absolute, just silly Billy, absolute moron. Oh, Zergling's going to go in. There's a shield battery, though, plus 2 cannons. He blows up the cannon. And then what? Goes after these probes. The probes run away, which they did not need to do, because the other cannon and the battery were completely fine. Those Zerglings going to build more cannons in range of the natural. The Zerglings going to find a bit of an opening here, though. The Hydras are going to run forward. He's going to try and get a bit of a base trade. The Oracles are going to have to return home. How many Oracles? We've got 16 Oracles versus 22 Hydras. Remember, the Hydras do have +2 range, which does make them kill Oracles quite fast, but they've only got... Wait. Oh, wait, this is back when both upgrades were combined. Muscular augments gave them range and movement, so he actually does have double upgraded Hydras right now. It was just a more expensive single upgrade that combined them. Okay, the Hydras get the natural. A lot of the probes go down. Up to 55 probes have died this game. Still massing Hydras is Jebediah. No stasis traps? I can't believe Flo's not using any stasis traps. Like, come on, there's no overseers. The army's running around. He's just asking for you to get his army frozen. He's going to go for it. He's going to go for it. The oracles go in, but then they see the queens and they turn around. 2 oracles for nothing. Uh-oh. I think he'd like to bait those Hydras up the ramp again. 20 oracles versus 28 Hydras, and Flo is just building more and more oracles. He's made a Twilight, some gateways. He's trying to make some more pylons, but his income is actually down in the dumps, and he could lose this game to the 29 drone, just keep building Hydralisks play. I think the Oracle's best bet is probably actually... Oh, I was going to say to base trade, but actually there's 8 spores at that base. Oh, and there's 5 up in the main. Problem the Zerg's having is he's not replacing the drones that are being spent on these spores, which is a problem. Now that cannon going to try and at least make the Zerg pay a little bit of a Zergling tax for this base. Once the Hydras get on top, the cannon will disappear. Already got 8 kills though. The Oracles are going to come in for the answer. But there's a lot of spores. They're trying to hold position out of range. They get the queen, but oh my god, these spores are doing a lot of damage. There's so many spores. The Oracles though, once again, find the least defended base. This natural, both spores disappear, as do a lot of those long-distance mining drones, and the hatchery gets popped. Not even a cancel. Jebediah is getting forced more and more all in, not replacing drones on the minerals, not covering the mineral lines with those spores either, and is now splitting the units up, looking for the rest of the base. The problem is, you can't split your Hydras up. You've got to keep those all together. 28 Hydras versus 22 Oracles. Is it enough Oracles? I don't know. Your shit is what you are. Laugh my ass off. Oh my god, he's saying you are shit. And then he walks into a stasis. Okay, only 3 Hydras on the first one. Well, surely he knows there's more stasis traps there now, right? It would take someone who is truly shit to see stasis traps getting put down in front of him and to then walk into them. And Flo's pulling his probes. He's going for it. Flo's going for it. He rolls his probes into the Banelings. Oh my god, but the Oracles annihilate the Hydras. Oh my god. The field of just blood, death, and destruction. You know what's so great? There was no need for him to pull his probes into that. And Florencio has actually probably lost this game if the Zerg very slowly and patiently rebuilt his minerals, keeps all of his spores around one base, because Flo only has 2 probes right now and is spending his last money on DTs. Your shit is what you are. Lol, this game is broken trash. What a joke. Jebediah once again prioritizing insulting the opponent over actually trying to win the game, and then just complaining that the game is broken rather than devoting his energies to doing anything. Now, the Oracles are all out of energy. These queens are actually doing good. Oh my god, are the Oracles going to get the last queen, or will they run out of energy? Barely enough energy on those last 2 Oracles. Their laser beams turn off right after they take out that queen, and Jebediah starts redroning now after losing the army. Classic StarCraft player attention, right? Nothing but army and staring at your army for 10 minutes. You lose your whole army terribly and you go, oh, maybe I should build some workers. I don't know if that's gonna work out. Now, Florencio does need to be patient because he needs more energy on these Oracles. It costs 25 energy to activate the laser, and then it drains over time the longer it's turned on. But oh, there's nothing on the ground. Oh, Jebediah sees the DTs coming in and just, yeah, instantly is okay. As expected. I mean, this was a true classic Florencio game. The opponent is shit-talking. The opponent had a few things they did pretty well, but man, I gotta watch that first engagement one more time, guys. That first engagement with the Hydras versus the Oracles was like the perfect example of what not to do. Like, I just... it was incredible. I couldn't believe it was so perfectly everything you're not supposed to do when you're facing Oracles with Hydras. I think it must have been about the 11-minute mark. So let's take a little look-see here really quickly before we end this game. While we're finding that moment, let me just very quickly go and say thank you to everybody who's been supporting on Patreon. We're going to find that engagement in just a moment. Big thank you to Max Dan, Colonel SC, Pimp City, but also everyone who's hopped on the Patreon. It makes a big difference, and it allows us to just keep on doing these videos. And even when YouTube gives us crappy ad revenue or doesn't show ads to people or claims that everyone watching the channel is bots, which thankfully they haven't done in a while, but they never admitted to, so it could happen again at any moment. It makes a big difference. Thank you everyone for your support on the Patreon, and I'm going to keep hounding Florencio to sending me these classic games mixed in there once in a while. So let's go back and let's take a look at this. So this was it, right? This was it. Here we go. Here we go. So 17 Hydras versus 15 Oracles. So it's already a very dangerous scenario where really he should just be running his drones away. So the Zerg spreads his Hydras out in a column. Whenever you've run somewhere, they're all naturally going to get stuck behind each other. You want to clump up first into either a ball or spread them in a concave where if your opponent's there, you want to be spread out in a line kind of horizontal here. Instead, the Zerg goes in a column with equal number of Hydras to Oracles, which is terrible, right? What is this? 13 Oracles versus 16 Hydras. You want to have 2 Hydras for every Oracle usually because the Oracle does counter the Hydralisk. Or you want to add in some fungal or parasitic bomb. So not only are we seeking out a fight which doesn't need to be taken because the drones could run away from the spores and then you come up the ramp and group together before fighting, But watch the micro. This was stutter stepping into the lasers, up a ramp. I think 3 oracles died there for 16 hydras. Like, that is the worst possible fight you could ever take. Well played, Florencio, and thank you very much for sharing this classic game with me. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you next time. Goodbye and good night.